And we're live. That was actually rather quick. Hello, everyone. This is the Ninja DC. Join me again for the Reactor video. This time for MLP Season 8, Episode 9. Still mouthful. Join me again is a herd of bronies.
Hello, ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. Welcome back to Let's Watch Season 8. This time it's a Student 6 episode, finally. Feels like we haven't had enough of them by this far in this season. It's going to be like another Season 4, Season 5 situation where the seasonal arc doesn't take that many episodes. It's only like 5 or 6.
Probably. At least we are coming back to this.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately, it's like every single season's like there'd be like 3 focused episodes only. It's just how they want to play it. It's not season 4 anymore, people.
Unless you want to bring back a certain villain again and have some good action and stuffs.
Yeah, bring back the Dragon Ball Z crowd. You know, those fans will really get it up.
The thing is like once you've done that formula once, good luck capturing lightning twice. You know, it's like what you've seen is like, oh great, now I can't do it again.
Just like how there are different Pinky Nightmare fantasies, give us a new and newly innovative action scene in that style, if you want to go that route.
I'm not sure I want it though.
Give us
like this.
What is it? Something that takes like a different approach, like a
just not dark approach though.
Maybe a fairy
like
tale
a hide
fight
and
scene.
seek destruction battle, or something like that.
I'm thinking about Pinkamina hiding and being like
Oh no, not like Psycho.
I'm sorry. Second day here.
Not like Psycho, like
Right, we get to that. Introduced.
All right. And join also Carlos.
Alrighty then. Hello, every pony. It's Gunmetal Gladius here, and I'm hoping you all have a wonderful night of watching some Student 6 shenanigans as we'll finally get more focus put onto those little kids of different cultures. Hopefully, we might be able to get some spotlight on certain characters for like each of these episodes. Like say, I don't know, like do it like how the map episodes did all the way back at like season 5 and be like, we focus on 2 particular students. Or if they're going to do the ensemble cast like direction, it's like you better focus on the characters that will get more emotions from them than what we got from the premiere. Because, oh boy.
It's more morning for us than night.
Well, that's a matter of perspective.
Next up, Jenn.
Student shenanigans. Hello, everybody. It's Jen here. Excuse me, a little bit of under the weather here. Darn you, allergies. But yay, season. Wait. Oh no. Thank you. You see, these allergies they're messing with my brain. I forgot what season it was. It's that bad.
Oh.
But anyway, season 8 allergies. Wait a minute. No, season 8 shenanigans. Start the episode quick. Oh.
Then up next, Second and Date Lover.
Hi there, Second Opinion, finally making my return to these reacts. And that's the good news. The bad news is we're still in season 8.
Oh, come on. Not that bad.
Why, do you want the series to end already?
Yeah, kinda.
Right.
Oh dear, somebody's
That's
over it
still
already.
a rumor there, but no, I didn't like that. He's going off the rumor that it's going to be the last one, and I don't know. I'm still not entirely convinced on that one.
Are you saying you want to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride?
But the ride never ends. The
ride never ends.
I just might want to strangle a few ponies while I'm here.
Wait. Wait, not all of them. Hold on. Let me go get Quibble. Hang on.
Where's your new hate pony, man?
Oh, I forgot the stick in the mud. Hang on a minute, second. I got two of them that you can strangle. Hold on. Let me go
I
get
wouldn't
them.
mind Quibble coming back. That'd at least be something like that was really creative and fun the first time. Mudbriar, I'm like, I would not mind him going away.
Poke him out first.
But he's always there in order to correct our every word, just so that we'll always be correct.
Actually,
That's technically, he always says.
I don't know. It's just to me.
It haunts me.
It to me just seems like he's worse than Quibble. If that's it, I didn't think like nobody could be worse than Quibble, and all of a sudden here's stick in the mud. I'm like, oh my god. What sort of fresh shenanigans is this?
I mean, then again, you have what you have, Jen. I'll have what I have, which is that episode involving around Mudbriar. Just nothing is ever going to change my opinion that Nick Confalone is just a has-been to me.
Nobody's hating on your opinions of that, you know. Nobody's hating on your opinions of that, you know. I mean,
maybe just a little bit. But I'm just day lover. What am I supposed to say?
Hey, I'll key you in a minute. But yeah, okay. Season 8. I mean, we've had slow starters. Season 8, a particularly slow starter on my card. Although we do have an interesting nuance of the writers I especially didn't like are now the highlight. Like Dave Rapp, I think, kind of stepped it up in his. I think that was last week, his episode. But hey, what can you do? And over to Day Lover now.
No, we are second day today, right?
I know, we had to enter the React on one microphone, so to her eternal joy, we get to be the presence known as Second Day today.
Hooray!
Second day.
And I'm looking forward for episode. Always positive, and you should watch it as a child, right?
It depends on
Find
the
your
episode.
child heart and watch the episode again.
It use that as an excuse for anything. In fact, I'm calling it now. Every person who says that actually means that they liked watching whatever the thing they're talking about is, and they're insecure about the fact that they don't have a better defense than that. But they don't want to own the fact that they like something nobody else does.
We really need to start. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Ready.
Yes.
All right. Press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
School of Friendship.
All right. The School for Scandal.
Okay. Everyone, can you start over again?
Oh God!
Start over.
Oh no! Start.
What happened?
On the intro again.
Technical.
Quick play. Sort of got frozen for a second because it was just sitting there for a while.
Oh my
Oh
God!
no!
All right, everyone, go back to 0.
Oh wait! Hold on. Why does this go away?
That was the wrong choice, Jen.
No, it's like these pop-ups were coming up on my screen, and I'm like, no, go away. Nobody likes you.
No one does.
Oh God, I think it's possessed. Yeah, okay. I think it's possessed. Oh my God.
Let's find the DeLorean and go back in time. And no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I thought you were serious there. I mean, we passed 2015. We should have a DeLorean by now, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they
We're
exist.
supposed to have actual hoverboards instead of whatever we got in 2015.
Yeah, and shoes that can tie themselves, right?
Well, they actually had like a Michael J. Fox try on a prototype of those in 2015.
But they did work.
And the number one comment on the video said, I don't know why he was so surprised. Didn't he try them on earlier that very same day?
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's comedy.
All right, but does everyone have it set at 0-0?
Yes.
Yep.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. Oh no. This thing just drove me.
Did it open everything, Jen?
No, I just had to close. I just had to close the episode out because I think it was giving me viruses. So, and I just clicked on the wrong thing again. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Technology.
Technology. I mean, like, whatever you do, do not let a robot handle your car. That is certainly not.
No, I do not trust. I do not trust self-driving cars. I will never trust self-driving cars.
I'm gonna go the Simpsons philosophy on those. Like, it takes them a few years to get the kinks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, or look at DuckTales example. You always need to make sure you have an iron duck on you, or a gizmo duck.
Okay, wait. Okay, are you talking about the new DuckTales or the old?
Yes, oh, new DuckTales. We finally get the reveal of Gizmo Duck.
Wait a minute. You mean Gizmo Duck is back?
Oh yes, Hector Cabrera.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
Well, this is a good time for me to pick up my rants because, as I said, nobody says that they liked a show or a movie being obnoxiously kiddie until they wanted to claw their eyes out. Like, that was the most childish, juvenile, rage-inducing thing I've ever seen, but I recommend it because it's for kids. No, the people who say that are people keen on their inner child who want to accept things as a rule of thumb because the idea appeals to them so much.
Well, I'm sorry that your inner child is dead.
It's not dead. I'm watching My Little Pony.
I think the inner child is still there. He just doesn't want to admit he's there.
Jen, do you have it back?
Can we just watch the episode now?
I'm sorry. Oh man, my laptop is just being so laggy today. It's like I think it was ready to play the episode, and then all of a sudden it just did not want to. So it's my fault. I'm dragging everybody down. I'm sorry.
We gotta move to a streaming service.
Yeah.
I've heard someone mentioned.
So.
Don't those usually make it worse?
No, it's like it just Jen, you need to try Google Chrome because I think Drive would work better through there.
Yeah, it's just that my Google. It's just that my Google thing doesn't work. It doesn't seem to work anymore for me on my browser.
That's what I was saying. You just need to try Google Chrome.
Everything works here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I may have to do that.
Yeah. Especially
I'm just trying to wait.
Yeah.
Also, for the record, I've given 2 thumbs down this season out of, what are we on now? 9 or 8. Well, we're about to be on 9.
Jen.
Yes.
Did you want to know something else that happened at that very same episode of DuckTales?
The revealing of Della Duck.
No, Darkwing Duck, silly.
Yay.
I brought him back.
You mean Darkwing Duck is in DuckTales?
Yep.
Yes. For 130 seconds.
What's going on here?
They are reaching into Duck lore.
Duck lore, indeed.
This is the only problem that I don't like with the new DuckTales. Launchpad is a freaking idiot.
Oh.
I used to love Launchpad when I was little, and now I'm like, I can't stand you now.
Well,
what happened?
Jen?
Yes.
There's something I should tell you about that episode,
Go ahead.
It's a Launchpad episode.
Yeah. Launchpad.
Brilliant.
Mhm.
Brilliant. Why not? Oh, why not make it a Launchpad episode? I mean, what? Launchpad. I used to love you as a kid, and now I can't stand you as an adult. Why? I don't understand.
It's like me and the chipmunks.
I was like, hold on a minute. Launchpad wasn't the brightest. He wasn't the brightest egg in the carton, but he wasn't this dumb.
Mm.
He wasn't the smartest cookie in the cookie box, but he wasn't this dumb. Okay, I think I got the episode back. Let me see if
Hooray!
Hooray!
Oh my gosh, a few hours later.
A few hours later, after some discussions about spoilers about
Don't worry,
DuckTales.
we'll just edit all this out.
Yes, go yes, or maybe speed it all up so that we'll all sound like we're on helium.
I can't do that chipmunk voice.
No.
Alright.
No one wants to be a
All
chipmunk.
right. Is it up, Jen?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yay.
Everyone press play again in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go.
And it
Please.
works.
All right.
Rule of friendship with a lot of pony students.
Yay.
And only 6 that are relevant.
Yeah.
Oh, please work.
Oh.
Please work. It's almost there. Okay, we're on. Oh,
Wow.
The Brony fandom were the voters.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I got this one nailed.
Fluttershy. Yes.
Teacher of the month is Fluttershy. Come on. Oh my.
He's so cute.
SpongeBob God. Employee of the month.
Oh.
Well, like they think it's going to come to them if they reach desperately enough.
nice photo.
Congratulations, Fluttershy.
Whose audio is picking up the episode
Jen.
audio?
Yeah.
I want to turn down your audio a bit.
Oh, okay.
Also, what time is everybody at?
105.
120.
Jen is
Mm.
Jen is like all behind.
Oh no.
Section 147, paragraph 2 states that teamwork is a key part of friendship.
Then it's still being
Oh, God.
catched.
Outdoor activity reinforces. Add that together.
Well, if we had trouble hearing the episode.
Mhm.
Oh,
387.
oh, jeez.
Field trip. Leading it is a teacher of the month type job.
Yeah, Jen, the audio's coming through in your mic.
Yeah, very loudly.
Stop
Oh, I
Very, very painfully.
I turned it down a bit.
Okay.
That's better.
Okay.
So has everybody got what the plot is by now?
Somewhat. I am-
This won't be in our exam, right?
We have to work together to figure it out.
Rainbow Dash and Applejack have to get along when all they want to do is compete with each other.
Well,
Also, this
competition
friendship,
can help
also the
too.
friendship school has been open for 9 months.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait, isn't that
How
a
much of a
full
time skip?
year?
I know you've been competitive in the past, but I'm sure you never let that get in the way of friendship.
Oh, this is weird.
Okay. But yeah, Jen, you might want to skip ahead through this theme song or something.
Yeah.
You're so mad. Oh no! What kind of stuff are they gonna sneakily do? Okay, I'm just good. You want me to skip through the intro?
Yes.
Yeah, we're almost
Yes.
done with it as is, so skip to the end of it.
Skip to the end and then you'll be ahead.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Here we go.
All my very best friends, developed for television by Lauren Faust. Get past
Yes.
that part.
Non-compete clause. Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh, that yak is so cute.
yeah. I like the small changeling.
Story editors, I'm starting to miss Lewis and
Oh.
Sonko now.
What's the name of the pony with the sea turtles? Is the cutie mark?
Sandbar.
Sandbar.
Oh, Samba.
He's got like that bedhead look that all the fillies like.
Yeah.
With us in charge.
Already stealing your thunder.
Mhm.
Plan for tonight. Shit.
Oh!
I gotta get
Okay.
that MVP medal.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like they're trying to conflate Applejack with Rainbow a bit so that this
Shed building.
goes down easier,
Mm,
or at least is easier to write.
we're not getting Dash Apple.
I'll check in later to see how it's going. Remember,
Raise that shed, raise that shed.
Raise the shed.
Until
Raise
you
the
wish
shed.
you were dead. Raise that shed. Raise that shed.
1, 2, 3, 4. Up, up, up. Ding.
Grab a new partner, old or young. Unpaid child labor's fun.
Trees.
Oh! More stink references.
Teamwork! That there's an
The thing with the yak was cute.
More apples.
Oh my gosh, where's this part about Fluttershy? I mean, like, hey, stay out of my shit.
Yeah.
sweat. Seriously? It's supposed to be
For a moment, I thought Rainbow almost said swag.
every pony will just whatever. Let's just get this done so we can move on to the mine.
It could actually be a good lesson to build this.
Creature of the month? That's what they call the award. God dang it, creature.
Oh,
Well,
this
there are only
quickly reminded me of that
teaching.
one SpongeBob episode where Squidward and SpongeBob are both trying to be Employee of the Month.
I love
That was hilarious, though.
Wow, be quick and rapid. Okay.
Oh, making the shed by yourself? Isn't that cheating?
Air construction.
She made a shed in 10 seconds flat.
Yep.
That's what happens in 10 seconds flat.
Just cause it's fast, don't mean it's good.
Ooh,
Well, not all of it though.
Wait, there's no fourth wall.
But
It's already broken.
I think Jen's a little ahead now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might want to pause it for a couple seconds now, in fact.
Oh no.
2 or 3.
Oh
Yeah.
no, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
pausing
I'm at
at 38.
6.
Okay. 6,
Press play
7, play.
now.
Okay, here we go.
Yay. Right on the month.
Dragons, the sass race.
Yes.
That's right, I like that.
Steady. Take her nice and slow. A little to the left.
Aw.
A hair to the right.
Oh my god, it's synced up perfectly with mine.
Higher.
It sounds like there's a reverb.
Dang.
Oh no! And there goes the shed.
Up, up, up.
Rainbow's Wall was the one that wasn't Rainbow's Wall is the only one that didn't break.
Oh.
Guess who's getting a PIR?
Mm.
Professors? I'm a little confused about
It reminds me of Amish Paradise, where it falls down on him.
Oh yeah, good
Wow.
video.
Oh.
Ready to smash the all-time electricity record for rubber canoeing.
You are.
Yay, canoeing.
Finish line before this alarm goes off. That means you gotta move fast.
Gotta go faster, faster, gotta go faster.
Any questions? You wanna have questions? No time for them.
Wow.
Aw.
Well then.
Waka waka waka.
Record's gonna get you that Teacher of the Month trophy. I'm pretty sure every creature's gonna like it a lot better than pounding nails and cutting wood.
Mm.
Yuck, not like water. Sometimes when I'm scared to try something new, I whistle.
Go.
Aw.
To be fair, where yaks are from, all water is snow.
Right.
So,
This is a
Yeah.
true statement.
Yada
But
never
there's
seen.
not like lakes or pools to
Yeah.
swimming on, I guess.
Okay, so it looks like the route they're gonna go is that the students teach themselves about friendship while Rainbow and Applejack mess everything up the whole time.
Looks that way.
One
Wow.
teacher showed us quite a lot about what is good and what is not.
Just when they're sailing in different directions. Aw.
Oh, poor Yada. He's never seen melted snow before.
Wow.
What?
Let's go.
I guess Rainbow is technically on the right in that one.
Aw.
Cool.
Or in the right, rather.
But we're setting sail and
They're all
shipping.
paddling on the same side. That's going to turn the boat. You had one job, animators.
Wow.
Yeah, Jack, you realize what's going to happen.
And
Yeah,
the rock gets
obvious,
split in half.
obvious result.
Piranhas? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you nailed it.
Oh,
Who saw that coming?
Everyone.
Leona's not gonna enjoy this.
Here comes your challenge. Trying not to
Oh
die.
god! Oh god!
Yona!
Life is out.
Oh no.
Maybe take care of your student that is going to drown.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a disaster.
Oh.
If only we had a sea pony among us.
Oh no, poor little thing.
Oh!
Called it.
Oh! That's a very
Clever.
Yeah, and lucky
that looks
too, though.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say the changeling makes a nice sea pony.
Yeah.
Yes, very nice. Beautiful design.
Come on, you almost killed the student.
Say all day, just 99%.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. You're not teaching teamwork. You're competing with each other. I thought you were past that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Nope.
We got carried away with one big
Some things never die.
Nope.
teacher of the month.
Okay, well, at what point what does Twilight say? This is season 8 for Celestia's sake.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think we've only had one other episode revolving around Rainbow competing with Applejack.
Yeah, fair weather friends.
No, they've shown it. Remember, there was also the castle episode.
Castlevania, yeah, they had a, like, well, okay, that was a sort of a subplot throughout it, but
The thing is,
Twilight's not buying it.
the thing is, they don't really use it as like a main episode plot, but it's like a recurring like background detail usually.
just not much was accomplished in that episode. I guess tough
Aw.
time thinking of it as about anything.
Come on, Twilight. We get it. No more arguing. Right, Applejack? Right as rain and twice. Fine. But I'm picking the next activity. A nature walk. The pony could possibly argue over that. Right?
Which way do we go? I
Already.
say we go left. I say we go
Wow.
right.
Is Applejack actually lying right there? This feels
I
weird.
don't know. It's possible.
Yeah, well, I think Fall Weather Friends shows this episode.
Oh my god, you
because,
totally called it.
Oh my god, how did I call it? How did I
You're
know?
awesome
So
like
now
that.
they're going to agree upon everything.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go left.
Oh no.
Makes you happy.
Oh,
Oh no, it's gonna be a nice off.
nice off.
Nice.
Just split up the group.
All right, their reaction, the group reaction is hilarious.
Waka waka waka.
But it's smoked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Follow the
Yeah,
student.
maybe
Oh,
appreciate the yak approach to things episode.
Yes.
Jonas' depressed expression.
Aw.
Waka waka
Just
waka.
go.
Forced niceness.
Aw.
Ah,
Again, they're stuck in an archway in this season.
Nice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
they're
Oh,
going
they're
in
going in
circles.
We're
circles.
going in circles.
Oh.
Oh,
Back.
It's the
Ah.
cartoon gag. It's that classic chase gag.
Yeah.
And what around
I think moss only grows on eastern side of a
That's
rock.
a myth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I think they're going for here, though.
Some ponies won't make up their minds about which way to go.
Wanna keep going in a circle, Applejack? Up to you.
Oh!
No.
Let's make this a little more painful, shall we?
Aw.
But I insisted first.
Oh no.
Field trip? This just feels like being lost.
Oh.
We can still get back to school before dark if we cross that ravine and stop doubling back.
Okay.
We knew that. All part of our plan. Right, Applejack? Yep. All we have to do is
build a bridge, cross that giant.
Yeah, no.
And we're home
That
free.
is it. If you think a bridge
Or I
is
could
good,
use the
Still
flying
somewhat of a
bridges.
decent attempt at lying, Applejack.
Fly everyone over.
The Griffin is like what we're all thinking, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that Griffin stop is going to be meme-worthy.
Yes.
right as you are. Okay. We'll build a bridge.
Really lucky the.
I mean, the students are about as likable as they were before. They're just sort of trapped in a ham-fisted plot that they're as sick of as we are.
I like it. Aw. Because nothing is going to go wrong with this.
I've been sort of like been noticing about Smolder's facial expressions like are really awesome this episode.
What?
What?
Use mine today. Applejack supported.
Mine apples.
To be fair, I would trust a bridge not built by a Pegasi more.
Why didn't I think of branches to begin with?
Who would trust a bridge that is built by a Pegasus?
How does it even stand it?
Wow.
I'm more concerned for Applejack, fellas.
Yeah, just a little.
I don't know who to be concerned of.
Rainbow
I think this
Dash, just
episode
fly.
How did Rainbow even build hers in the first place? What? Oh,
Oh.
Well,
yeah.
now they're green though.
What do you call that?
Alright.
Great observation there.
It's made of fragile twigs and vines.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Last of truth. Okay.
Well,
By Fish.
Barracudas. Well, and they have little
They have wings?
wing fins.
It's flying by Kudas.
flying by kudas.
Valid.
Yeah, I have to say, any creature, that is starting to, it just feels weird. Like, I feel they could have come up with, like, a more
Uh-oh.
interesting term.
Or they could have, pulled a double reverse and just called it everyone, everybody. What? That's
Yeah,
a
like
weird term for Equestria.
Yeah, I think, I know everyone would work.
Oh my god!
It's talking.
Cute and horrifying at the same time. Oh.
Wow.
I think you mean you're the intimidation.
Yeah.
Reminding a Berenstain Bears book I read where Papa Bear wants to show everybody how to camp and just keeps picking the worst spot
Yeah.
until they have to carry him home in a makeshift stretcher.
Yay.
Pa has showed us quite a lot about what is good and what is not.
Wow, the
Yay.
episode comes
Teamwork.
off the mark.
Fish weren't even
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It's talking again.
That is too cool. Teamwork
School
also
still looks
professors
nice.
killed.
How was the field trip?
How was the field trip?
Oh, it's terrible.
What did you all learn?
Yes, Pony, Mark. Yeah, Professors Applejack and Rainbow Dash were such good teachers.
Oh, they're gonna have one over them now.
Showed us what not to do, so we figure out what we should.
I'm thinking of Mabel's thing. Like, don't worry, I've seen this story 100 times. This is where they think it was all part of the show and they love it.
Yay!
Mabel's thing from Gravity Falls.
Bridges the runaway just to show us how important teamwork is.
Yes, of course.
Yep.
That would
Talk
be
about
dangerous.
commitment.
Talk about commitment.
Mm.
Oh, it's too early to teach you.
They just want them to stop competing so they don't risk their lives again.
Yes.
Now they're going to be picked together, so yeah.
Field trip was a success. I'll make sure to schedule another one right away.
Aw.
You were actually just
Oh!
to tell you the truth.
Well, not all the time.
All
I
the
think we
time.
did for the whole nature walk. Only because you were angling for that deal.
Oh no, no, not again. Oh. There we go, yay!
Waka,
that
waka,
episode-
waka.
That episode was cringe.
I thought it was cute.
I think the opening part was good, but I mean I'm Fluttershy biased, but I feel like the setup wasn't bad because like the idea of like, oh yeah, they'll compete about teacher of the month. It just felt that they were dumbed down in the competition, which wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Mm.
That, and I feel like where Fall Weather Friends succeeds over this episode is that like this one kind of just conflates Applejack and Rainbow Dash, so it can just sort of write the usual gags where they're mirror images, and yeah, whereas Fall Weather Friends, like, or it felt so fresh as it let them both be themselves. Like, yeah, Applejack was a good sport for a while until like getting the short end of the stick and nobody stepping in on her behalf kind of started to eat at her, and then she it like had, yeah, Rainbow kind of had to draw out her stubborn side.
Mm.
And where you had this, they're like, I mean, they both are just kind of rushed to the lowest common denominator.
Mm.
Mm.
On the other hand, though, I mean, like, well, it's a plot we've all seen 100 times, not done that much differently. But the students, as the yeah,
Highlights.
one's commenting on the situation was kind of cute and charming enough. So I guess I'm just kind of benevolently indifferent,
Well, that's good.
sort of.
This feels very much tedium and very much like most of what season 6 has been offering us.
Season 8, you mean?
Yeah, season 8, yeah.
I don't know about that. I think it's better though.
It feels like tedium, like of going through like a certain theme, like and overstretching like its course, like on like an unoriginal idea, and just being like, okay, we have to go all the way into like the last point just for like the moral to come happen and instant resolution and such. And it's like it doesn't feel like it's interesting, like the journey on the way there.
Mm.
Except for maybe like some of the Orcelis bits, which, yes, that was very much the highlight of this episode for me.
How yeah, the changeling in particular and the other students to a lesser extent solve the problem.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's cute.
Well, they're all cute on some level.
Yeah,
The students you talking about?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the episodes too, though, I mean, they all, like, I think, go for some level of cuteness.
Yeah, that's
What?
true.
One thing that's good about this is it really brought forth the students in a very positive way.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, the changeling actually is like really starting to grow on me right now. Okay, I want a plushie of Yana. I want a plushie of Yana because she's so darn cute. But now I want
Especially
one
in her bitefish form.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing
fight fish form. I want a plushie of that because I think it would be hilarious.
Just
Yeah,
as long
the
as
one
it
thing
doesn't talk.
The one thing I hate about the changeling design is like her base design just it looks like she's anorexic and like to the bony.
Yeah.
Like it's so unnerving. It's just like her overall color scheme and all that works was just like I feel they need to add a little bit more like
Meat to bone.
exoskeleton to her.
In other
But
words,
isn't it because she's a bug, though?
In other words, she needs to eat a cheeseburger.
You
one
She
thing-
must be one of those species like, I forget to eat. At one point, Yana would come in and be like, Yana, help friend, eat cheeseburger.
And one thing I don't like about
perfect balance of vanilla extract.
Yeah, and a lot of it with whipped cream.
No, we're trying to put some weight on her, not make her diabetic.
Oh,
Actually, you know what? Just take her to Sugar Cube Corner for that.
yeah.
Yeah, one thing I don't like about the changeling design is the eye design. It like as soon as she turned into the sea pony, it looked 100 times better. Because she had the normal eyes. I think it's kind of due to the fact that like the pupils aren't as like don't have a contrast to like the background.
Yeah. Also, sorry for our background noise. No, we're talking about.
If you can hear that.
I didn't hear any
Draw
background
attention
noise.
to it. It's subtlety. Come on, lady.
Oh, I really liked the episode, though. Am I the only one that liked it?
I
kinda liked it.
can say I like the student bits of it.
Yeah.
The part where like the thing with Rainbow Dash, and honestly, this could have been an episode better without those two.
I think you summarized it well. Like again, like I feel the setup was good with especially even the setup for why they would compete. It's just they dumbed them down too much.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like the student, like the teacher learned from the student sort of, so they could pull that episode off pretty well. I think they sort of did already this season, but like they dumbed down the teachers so much that it just felt like growth-inducing. Like, yes, you.
It's kind of what I call Neil to set out writing. Like they want to, whoever's writing it wants to get at something that like inside jokes, for example, or whatever the moral of Applejack's Day Off was. I don't feel like summarizing right now, but the way it goes about it is, like for the inside joke, for example, taking a very long and awkward time to draw out the demonstration of it for people who have never seen this before, and also presumably from people who have never seen this before.
I'm currently checking up like what this writer has done. This Kim Bayer Johnson. The only thing that seems to be not kid aim focused show is this show by the name of Sue Thomas FBI. Like not just like the letter I, but the word for I. And it's showcased like a bunch of people, including like a dog in the cover of like this show.
But I actually think it's clever. Like I know, like we had this before with this, and they need to get over and like working together and stuff. But now, like I feel like there's more potential of that happening than before.
I'll bring it back, sure, but I mean,
yeah.
Like,
but I just like them together, the Rainbow Dash and Applejack. I think like they're cute, and I think like it's nice that they don't work together as we want them to.
Not always.
I think it's funny.
Oh, it's definitely fun for all the Apple Dash shippers.
But I mean, just recycling fall weather friends, bringing that out is not good writing in and of itself.
True.
Gotta do something worthwhile.
Stuff, though, with the students and the way like they handle like being sweet to each other.
The last season
that was really cringy. That was really cringy.
But I think like it was funny as well. I think I'm the only one that thinks it's funny.
What, Applejack and Rainbow Dash?
Trying to be nice to each other.
I mean, once you get the joke, though, that almost becomes even cringier.
I don't know. I can laugh at it anyway.
I mean, you're a good sport and all.
Yes, of course.
Oy.
Some of us have to be.
But I mean, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought there.
But I'm seriously starting to miss season 6.
Actually,
Oh,
Miss
no.
season
Yeah.
6.
yes, season 6.
I think it
as
means
much as I hate to
season. Are you
Well-
sure you don't mean season 7?
Oh,
No,
come on, it's not
I
that
mean,
bad.
season 7 too, but I'm going to assume that both of us mean season 6 here because at least, I mean, I don't know about you, Gladius, but at least I had one great episode on my card by this point in season 6.
For me, it was 2.
Yeah.
Hey.
But I just think like they come a long way with the animation and all of the other stuff, though.
Yeah,
The
Day-Lover,
animation-
that is true, Day-Lover, but animation can carry so far. Just as like how Derek here was showing us about Violet Evergarden, how I wasn't too keen about it, even if it was showing like fantastic animation was trying to be like stirring with like emotion, but I didn't get any of it, and it was just basically as bad to me, even if it was showing a lot of beauty and a lot of imagination with a good budget. It's the same thing here. Even if the presentation is flawless, if you don't have anything concrete in the story that could gravitate me as a person who could go as a consumer to purchase a product like this, then it ain't selling.
Your cartoon is only as strong as your weakest point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's only, I guess I'm more like it's only as strong as what the core of your story or the core of your episode is. I guess story narrows it down a little too much, but I mean, like as animation, I don't know. That's almost to me like the point people bring up when they like want to say something good about the show recently. Like, I mean, the first time I heard people pointing out that the animation stepped it up was in season 4, and I could agree with that. I mean, you can see how they try to double down on what the color palette and all of the above, but I mean, like since then, I mean, and the animation getting more special, is it? I mean, is there any? I don't remember anything particularly stepping it up. I don't remember anything in this episode or otherwise being particularly a thing of beauty or. Are you an animator?
Yes.
I thought you were a. Well, I mean,
Oh,
I thought you were an
something
artiste.
else.
There's a difference. But well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is, but the fact that it still feels less special should probably double down on the point.
I still think it's special, though. You just forget to watch it as a child, though.
I stand by what I said earlier about that point. Nobody likes saying, wow, I feel like I've seen this 100,000 times before, and it could not possibly appeal to me unless I was 3 years old. And it is cringy and painful and eye-gougingly bad, but I recommend it because it's for kids.
But we also like have episodes we've seen a million times that works, right?
Yeah, no, I love filling in like old formulas with new life. I love I mean, a cliche is just the option of a story, but the problem is if you only use it,
I can't wait for better ones.
Well, I mean, I'll agree with that second part, but if you're only using it to recycle the same beats and the same like to cash in on what another episode did, then that's where using a cliche becomes. That's where it goes from using a cliche to becoming cliche.
Maybe I like the cliche and not cliche.
Well,
Just Ninja this turn. You haven't been saying anything. And Jenn's.
Just trying to be cute. The people who haven't gotten to say as much yet.
Sorry, it's just that my allergies are. I'm trying not to cough and sniff and such, you know.
Okay, you cough and then we take Ninja first, or what?
Yeah, I was just listening.
I was trying not to talk so much and making sure I was muted before I had to cough or something. But anyway, what was the question?
What do you like? Do you like the episode as well?
Oh, okay. Do I like the episode? Oh, wow. It's part I want to, but I don't know. I can't. I can't. And it's saddening to say I can't. Although I did. The only thing I did like about it is that the students really got their chances to really shine, despite the annoyances of Rainbow Dash and Applejack. At first trying to outdo each other as they always do, and then trying to be nice to each other, which I still think that was more cringe-worthy than that. And them just being absolutely dumb with the bridge.
Mm.
But
Maybe that's
but still the students pretty much just summed up the plot at the
Yeah.
end. They're like,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
they taught us what not to do. It's such like,
Yeah.
wow, that was increasingly simplistic. But it just seems like with these students, it just seems like they're rendering the teachers, even especially those two, more and more useless.
I'd like to point out too that the last time, and possibly the only time, that the show seemed kind of sick of the main characters and the side characters seemed like the best part was season 6.
Oh my god! How much more can we compare them? It's all a downward slope. We haven't seen them actually be proficient enough as teachers, because like if they're actually proficient in their jobs, then we don't have a plot for an episode. That's the big conundrum.
I will still be amused though if the writers that I've like normally been the most mad on continue to be the highlights.
Yeah.
Like even though they haven't given me any A grade ones either, but I think like my 2-3 favorite 1-part episodes of this season are from writers who I haven't seen really do much before.
Yeah. And also maybe we shouldn't start with being like, oh, it's going to be sucky.
Hey, I've said there are not 1 but 2 seasons that I thought were slow starters that stepped it up. Had like season 4, it's one of my favorite seasons. I thought starting out there, I was worried that it was going to be I was starting to worry it was going to be a step down from season 3 by the time it started like really hitting its stride. And I mean, heck yeah, I love season 4. It's in my top 3 seasons. And then season 7 was kind of the same deal on a smaller scale, but no, like I did a music video on how bored I was of season 7, and then it's on the first half of it, and then the second half brought it up to, I think it's like, I'd say it's smack in the middle of all the seasons. But this though, it set the record for my earliest thumbs down in the season. It still doesn't have any great ones on my card, and it might, and like it's in the running to set the record for longest dearth of those as well. It's done.
I'm the only one having fun.
I think this is more thumbs down than I've ever given in the first half of the season 2. So I mean, the downward signs are there, and heck, if it comes back every bit as strong as it seems to be slowing up now, then I mean, I will be totally delighted. But until then,
yay! Until then, Ninja's turn.
Yes.
I would say overall probably didn't like this episode too much. It just felt like a classic example of like an episode that had good, interesting setup, but just sort of flopped in the execution. I feel like it sort of also didn't know what it wanted to necessarily do in the middle. Like overall, like I wanted to show them competing, but like it just felt confused about itself. If that makes any sense.
I mean, it makes absolute sense because like the way that it seemed like from its summary, it seemed to be like it actually got the students confused about like what the lesson about teamwork actually was. But instead, it's like it proves to be an outward lie.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing is, like, I wish. The thing is, like, there's so many moments where like this episode could have been raised higher. Like, say, like after students like bragged about like it's like, oh yeah, they helped us again. Then like when they're walking away, they're like, okay, they'll never do it again if we like they sort of hype them up just so the teachers would not do that again or not compete like that or something like that, where it showed the students being even more like sort of not deluded into thinking that this was an actual like part of this class.
Yes, that would have helped.
It would have been a lot better if they actually ended with Rainbow Dash and Applejack being friends and, being like, okay, we're not going to agree or disagree so much no more into the future.
Then again, how much would that promise be weighted in water,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Seriously.
It almost felt like I just felt like with this episode, it almost felt like we were going backwards in season in evolution with dang it, with
Applejack and Rainbow Dash.
Thank you. Sorry, allergies are kicking my butt today.
Ooh, the allergy.
I certainly would have.
I know. But it just felt like we were just going back in time. Like, wait, but did we see this or this episode? Like, I don't know, season 2 or something. Didn't we see this like earlier? Only with no students.
One.
What's he doing with the mouse? Stop it.
All right. Stop commenting on that. We've got an episode to talk about. Like, for example, I would not have minded them finding an excuse to stop being blockheads, although the one thing that I might say was somewhat different is that at the very, very end, they're still fighting, and therefore this could be picked up later by a better episode. But, yeah, so I don't know if I need them to, make nice at the end, but yeah, I would not have minded them at some point, to solve the conflict or something, decide to stop being blockheads. Like they do when they're trapped there, they do decide to work together. We really should probably cut this out, and then the students rescue them. So the closest we get is a moment where they sort of learn a lesson.
But only when they're in mortal danger, though.
Right.
Is that a good lesson? I don't think so.
No, not at all. But the good thing
is able to work together, even though you're not about to die, right?
The good thing is that hopefully the students have indeed learned what not from this.
The important thing was what?
I'm sorry. The thing is that the good thing is that hopefully they do really learn what not to do from those two.
Maybe not. No.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're going somewhere with the students, even if it's just them bonding as friends. And I mean that I got behind it in the intro. I can get behind it here too.
Oh yeah, agreed.
So
I want a Yana plushie though. She's so darn cute.
Yeah, Orcelis, I think she is officially my favorite of the student 6.
Which one's Celis? Still have
the Changeling.
The Changeling. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember their names. I don't remember their names.
What do you smell? Yak. It's like the Yana has her moments too. Like Applejack. What do you smell? Yak. I stink.
This is the second episode in a row we got some nice older humor.
I could live without it.
Live without the humor, acknowledging our stinks.
But it was cute. Poor Yana, is afraid of water, and oh.
Yeah, it's cute. Yeah.
I'd pick her up and I'd be like, "Don't worry, I'll protect you."
At least
1,000-pound yak.
At least she's not going to learn the same way at swimming as I did when I was a child. My father took me out and I was only 5 years old, and then just threw me out in the ocean and be like, "Swim."
Oh. In a way, it's like it's the baby bird method, but in water.
Yeah.
You want to learn to swim?
Yep.
No, God.
Welcome to Denmark.
Yeah. That's how we wave Vikings.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing with the students, I mean, let's point out that's one of the ways you make a cliche story feel fresh and new. You don't make the cliches themselves the point. You make the focus the stuff that is investing on the characterization, for example, on where this takes them, the fun you can have with them, and and with the students it does that, as the students though being the observers sitting on the side with Rainbow and Applejack, it twists them so they will fit the cliche beats that it's counting on hitting.
I'm also thinking maybe this is the way we're supposed to watch the episode, so the students shine over Applejack.
I mean,
and
of course,
Rainbow
the
Dash.
students are supposed to be the ones learning stuff, but I mean, Applejack and Rainbow Dash, I mean, heck, we could do a story about them screwing stuff up, like Applebuck season, or good one where Rainbow screws something up. I don't know, Dragon Shy, where she's kind of
Secret
being a jerk
Empires.
the whole time. I mean, yes, Secrets and Pies. Like, yeah, those are
Mhm.
all like good, fun episodes because they're doing those things in a very Applejack and Rainbow Dash way that like brings them along too and has a lot of fun with them. It's doing stuff that could have been done with any characters who have ever been inserted into this plot because, like I said, it's just like, yeah, bending them to fit this cliche mold so they will keep
Right.
the cliche plot moving along in all of its cliche ways.
The only thing I think I see if this one of the cliches you were talking about second, in which the student has become the teacher.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily like more the the trying to the doing everything the wrong way to teach them, and then also the have to work with someone who you really want to get this thing done, but you have to work with them, the fake smiles,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure. Yeah, it's very nice to work with you and all, but I want to do it this way.
Yeah.
Yep.
But actually, I was thinking, I know, like, we already had a Starlight episode, right? But it could have been more interesting with Starlight and Trixie, maybe. Them teaching.
Well, you can fill in like
teamwork.
a ton of different. Yeah, like there's a lot of different. I mean, the new characters, new approach, new conflict.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some random teacher of the month thing is a little.
But then also, like, when Fluttershy have won it so much, I think like both Applejacks and Rainbow Dash competitiveness has gone a little like overboard.
Well, they told us as much.
Yeah, but still though.
Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm almost wondering, why, like, Fluttershy. I mean, she's nice, easy to get along with and stuff. Is she the kind of teacher who wins Teacher of the Month every month?
Yep.
I almost feel like it'd be more like Pinkie Pie or something, the teacher who's nice, but also just like larger than life fun.
Well, actually, like, I actually been thinking about this. Is one thing I was sort of spoiled about going into the episode. So I've been sort of thinking about the reason, and like the way I broke it down is the reason that Fluttershy seems to be the most likely to win is, let's just go down the list. Twilight, I think, is disqualified either just because fairness, or I think she's more a principal. I'm not sure if she actually teaches classes themselves.
She's just the principal.
Yeah, so like that's why I think she's sort of just disqualified out of that, or at least even if she does teach, she's teaching less than the rest of the main six, so she's getting less exposure. So she's just sort of moved. That leaves the rest sort of the main five. Now, I'm just saying Pinkie Pie and Rarity are probably both disqualified just by virtue of like their personalities are fun in short dosages, but would you really want to have a party cannon explosion every day in class? It's like and Rarity, like how many Rarity freak outs, like is there going to be that day that you just don't want a Rarity freak out? As like that's why I say they're fun. And then so that's why I say those are most because their personalities are just so explosive in their own ways. Where fun friends
so
like as a
Fluttershy
teacher.
against Sunset.
So no, like Sunset's guidance counselor.
And Fluttershy then would be sort of like the rest period, homeroom.
Oh, it could have been so funny if it was Starlight winning.
Not a good sign. Starlight's not a teacher, I don't think.
Well, she's on the school though.
This episode,
she's a guidance counselor.
Yep. And then this episode sort of said like why Rainbow and AJ sort of aren't in that position. So like it just seems like Fluttershy is just the most stable and like welcoming teacher. It's probably the reason she. Also, she has a very motherly nature about her, so it just sort of fits her.
Yeah. Although so does Applejack, and that's like one of the problems I have with this episode. I feel like it rushes Applejack to the point where it can conflate her with Rainbow Dash to make things easy. Like I don't know. She does not. I mean, she does not feel particularly Applejack this time around.
it's kind of sort of like rushing along in order to break her down so fast. It's like whiplash essentially.
Okay. But before I start eating second, how are we going to go?
Wait, you're gonna eat second? Oh no!
It's about breakfast time here, so it seems that
Ow.
Yeah, for reference, they're in Denmark right now, so.
What time is it over there?
7:28.
Oh, good
Almost
lord. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning over here.
Yeah.
We know, yeah.
No, it's not like it is 1:30.
No, it says my laptop says 1:29, so it's not technically 1:30 yet.
But your laptop is broken, Jen, so.
Oh!
It's not broken! It's not broken, I can still save it! It's not broken until I break it.
Rest in peace, laptop.
rock on.
No! No one can't leave me! No one can't leave me, I'm in a bad spot!
Fair
I'm in a
enough.
bad spot without a Mac. I'll love it in its broken ways.
All right. I guess let's get some closing thoughts on this episode.
Closing thought allergies suck. There we go.
I mean, it had its low-key charms for all the cringy points, and I mean, it could be that I'm just actually in kind of a benevolent mood, but doesn't seem like the kind of episode I want to give a thumbs down to, or even like, I mean, I'd say it's more like a C.
Maybe
grade
I'm
sort of an
starting to
episode.
rub off on you. Rub.
Well, I mean, I'd like to point out that I've actually given a lot less thumbs down than even probably the majority of Brony analysts. I think even with this season's sudden rush on them, I'm only on like 12 or 13 thumbs down for all 100 and how many we got? 50 some episodes?
70,
77
170.
Okay, thank you. But, and I mean, and I've had plenty of episodes that, like, yeah, caused me a lot of pain, but like, caused me some pain, but also had fun enough so that I'm like, I guess I could just say I'm indifferent to it. So that's my bar. If it's not worse than those, thumbs up. And this was not. I've seen cringier stuff than this. I've seen less charming stuff than this. So I say more like a C.
Aw.
Oh my god, I just realized something.
What?
Wow.
After season 8, the 200th episode is going to be coming on in season 9.
Yay! A new
Yeah, it is.
100
Fifth
episode.
episode.
Let's see if they jump the shark again.
Oh man, what can they do? What can they do that time?
What will they think of next?
What will they think of next?
Let's see, who's the biggest voice actor?
Amending Fences Part 2.
Oh, yes!
Oh, thank you.
Back to those amending fences with the Cantalot 5.
Aw.
Oh! This time.
But moving on with final thoughts, I really thought it was like okay and really good. Like we focused on the the students, but I also feel like they had some good interactions with Applejack and Rainbow Dash. And I'm sorry if I'm the only one that's laughing about these jokes. That's
Don't
been
feel
done
bad.
to death a million times. But what can I say? I'm just
Well, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
She's a sweetheart.
yeah.
Even if she's too nice to Applejack and Rainbow Dash stories.
Nope. They're
Just
forgiven.
like repetitive things.
No problem.
You're implying it all.
Let's just move on, Jen.
Well, let's see. I first off, they love her. Nope, no judgment here. It's all good to like. It's all good to like it. Need more positivity in the world. It's all good. Yeah, definitely. The episode for me, like, a good one for the students. A good one for the students. Not so good for Rainbow Dash and Applejack. Honestly, a good one for the students on their part. Like I said, I want to like it, but I just can't quite do it. So, I've never given episodes. I can't say I hate it. You know, I can't say I hate it, but I can't say I love it. This is
So it's a thumb side, not up or down, but side.
I'm pulling a Switzerland. I'm staying neutral.
Ooh.
Hey.
Hey.
Besides, Switzerland got some nice chocolate anyway,
Yay.
and some sweet snowboarding. I bet. Get on top of the Matterhorn. Get on top of the Matterhorn, and woo! Watch the fun.
Yay!
But yeah, I'm pulling a Switzerland. I'm staying neutral on this. I can't give it a thumbs up, and I just can't give it a thumbs down because, well, I guess I'm too nice myself. You have to have something, but you got to have something in particular to really. You have to press a special button or whatever it is to really make me give it a thumbs down. But
take the formula in this episode and insert a quibble pants.
Yay!
And then and now you have murder-inducing rage.
Now we're on 200 episode. Now next one.
Come on, Quibble, we're going to Mudbrier's house.
No. It's every single special guest voice actress.
You will not. That is a review. Unfortunately, I'd have to just sit back and watch, but I cannot. But I'd be on mute for the entire time because I'd be screaming all sorts of obscenities.
Oh my god!
I'd be like, why?
And people say like, "Oh, we found the next eligible bachelor out of all the pony guest voice actors."
It's Prince Blue Blood.
Okay, all right. I'll admit, you bring back Prince Blue Blood. I'll watch it. What can they do now? I'm like, what can they do now with that jerk? What can they do now?
Fluttershy be the one to break up with him, put him in his place next.
No. Make a Shining Armor X Blue Blood episode.
So I'm going to eat like the floor or something. Can we move on?
I would have said you had to stay. You gave your final thoughts. I mean, granted, then I wouldn't have anyone to hug, but...
I'm sorry. I went off a tangent again, but yep, I'm staying neutral in the episode. Yep.
Okay. As for me, I'm really feeling like this episode should be considered a tedious episode in my grading scale now. And I should really be rethinking about some of those grades I've been giving to like other episodes that feel like this. Because it's like, the more I think about it, the more it's like, season 8 has been the most tedious so far. And I seriously can't wait for 2 weeks later. Just give me 2 more weeks and then we can actually get into good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what happens in 2 weeks, or is that a spoiler for a leaked episode?
It's a spoiler for a leak episode.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. Next.
No, I'm sorry. This is a no spoiler. This is a no spoiler zone.
No spoiler zone. You gotta get out of the driveway before you hit our spoilers.
Unless there is a certain one that I need to know about that will cause me rage, murder-inducing rage.
No, we don't care. No spoilers, Alex.
I just
still, you know, this turn you don't direct these things.
I just need to prepare. That's all.
Yeah, it's just overall, it's like overall, it feels like season 6 with like how like the main 6 are sort of like treated more to the side for like most of these new writers, while at the same time like the new pet project that is the Student 6 seems to be still sort of in the background in their own episodes. Not really like each of them like standing off unless like it's Arcelis or Yona.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but still, even like all of the Student 6 has been showcased like highly in one particular moment or another. Even Sandbar, whose moment was really about like noticing the Moss Rock multiple times.
True.
Yeah.
And no one was listening to him except for maybe Arcelis.
Little subtle moments there.
Yeah. It's like those things that tells you like every single student has their own perspective on a matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like realizing them during like your first viewing before you go writing them off. It's like, they didn't do anything with like these certain characters because some characters are made to be understated. I mean, isn't that why Fluttershy was that way for the past few seasons before the later seasons happened?
Well, understated, she still kind of is. In fact, she was almost less understated early on because we had episodes like Green Isn't Your Color that, in which the plot was, she's so cute!
Okay, so I guess I'll go. So right off the bat, I just want to say that I'm going to have to watch this episode again just to get a really clear idea of what my thoughts are because I can't say much about this. But for the little of what I can say about it, I'm just gonna say I think a lot of other analysts, I think this episode is going to be on their hate lists.
It's possible.
I think it's really going to be like their worst episode of the season because this episode is boring. It's one note. The plot is shallow. The Applejack and Rainbow Dash they just threw it out there from followed by their friends. Applejack and Rainbow Dash take up too much of the episode. There's not enough involvement from the student six. I think that a good rewrite for this episode. It's not too refined, but what they could have do is let's take Applejack and Rainbow Dash arguing. Then halfway through the episode, let's have the student six start arguing. And Applejack and Rainbow Dash realize this, and they realize they're being a bad influence on the six. And then from there on, have it continue on as normal. The Applejack and Rainbow Dash try to fix it, but they keep arguing, and then the bridge part comes in, and it just continues on as a normal. I think that'll bring a lot more of the involvement from the student six. I think the plot will be even better because it's deeper. It's not just one note the whole time. But yeah, that's generally all my thoughts for it.
Okay.
That is fair.
Yeah.
And our fearless leader.
So again, I thought this episode just sort of felt unfocused and just again good, like a good idea, just poorly executed. Or just the biggest sin I would say is I have a saying as a writer: you write the characters, write the plot doesn't write characters. And what I mean by this is you don't dumb down a character or make them do something they wouldn't or would be stupid to do just because it's plot convenience. And this episode really dumbs down and sort of backtreads on both AJ and Rainbow Dash's character development. Just so it has a conflict going on.
Think about how an actor approaches taking on a role. The actor doesn't let the role control them. The actor adds their own kind of flavor to the role.
Yeah. Yeah. So it doesn't become like the episode with Fluttershy and overtakes you completely.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking about actually trying to write my own episode.
I had that idea as soon as I joined the fandom. It's not dead.
Oh, come on.
I mean, it's half dead.
Like
it's
now
still
all of
lingering.
you guys are saying this could use a rewrite and you can do it better. So go.
I don't know if anybody said that second
I didn't
part.
say anything about a rewrite.
In terms of episodes, I'm starting to still finish our sort of episode movie thing, but this is what's going off? So I got distracted off topic because I guess this episode's focus, which I guess is actually very representative of this episode. I feel like this episode had potential for greatness, but just never utilized it.
It was a flop.
Aw, flippy flop. With sugar on top. Oh, it's only me that's putting sugar on it.
As we were saying.
I guess I was going into this episode thinking we were going to have more involvement from the student six, but turns out that didn't happen as much as as I wanted at least. So it's kind of disappointed.
Aw.
I mean, I don't know if my favorite way to rewrite this would be more from them or not, but they were certainly the good part as is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going for a rewrite. I'm going for my own, but yeah.
If anyone wants to
Stay
rewrite
tuned
it,
for
go
that.
right ahead. Anybody wants to rewrite it, go right ahead.
Yeah.
First note: remove talking fish, please.
What?
Too
That was
jarring.
funny though.
The fish was the best part.
That was one of the best parts of the talking fish.
Oh, you mighty kudos.
It was horrifying and it's cute.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like Lucas the Spider.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Uncanny Valley.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
No, then.
So yeah. Not our favorite episode though. Anything to add to that?
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Bless you. That's what we had to add to that.
All right.
That's
I
it.
guess with that,
Bless
I guess
all
with
of
that
you.
said, see y'all next time.
Yay.
Hey,
Bye.
Have a good one.
Beware of allergies.